Hot or cold weather, what do you prefer and why? I would not mind winter if I could see the sun. I like the sun, all I want is consistency. I hate not knowing how to dress until I check the weather or needing to have winter and summer. I guess I'd take the heat. Where I am, the warm weather means being able to go anywhere outside or inside, but the cold weather often means you're stuck inside, or in big snows you might even be stuck in your home because it's not even safe to travel. Cold weather because no bugs. I prefer hot because I like the sun. It looks more cheerful. It gets really gloomy and damp where I live, so it's nice when it's not. I don't love being hot or cold, but when I'm cold my whole body aches and it's hard to get warm without feeling smothered. Hot, but not like crazy hot. Just never been a big fan of coldness. Like here in Germany we obviously haven't have the greatest weather overall. I prefer hotter weather. What are the pros of being ugly? People tend to leave you alone. You're less likely to question people's sincerity. People are more authentic towards non-attractive people. You can be taken more seriously. Bimbo himbo is still a trope. In adult life you can blend in more easy, which can be nice if you like that or are a spy. I guess you wouldn't have to wonder if people were only interested in your freer looks. Not sure. Not seeing any advantages so far. More space and quiet. Like my wife always gossiping with her friends. I never worry about him having affairs with someone. Less likely to be the target of a serial killer or sadist. No drama, no unsolicited dick pics, and you know beforehand that when someone approaches you out of the blue that they need some kind of favor, and that if someone enjoys your company, then they genuinely like you as a person. Not giving a fuck. Not being treated like an object. What common product has a feature you're not sure everyone is aware of? Lifetime warranties on consumer goods. Like Columbia jackets and JanSport backpacks. If your zipper fails or the material separates or is no longer repelling water, file a claim online and pay for shipping to the factories. They will either repair it or ship you a comparable new version. Companies like this use your returns to identify weak points in their products while retaining lifetime customers. The little pepper-looking thing that hangs off of most pin cushions is filled with emery powder to help clean sharpen your pins and needles. Swiss Army knife, parcel hook. Most people don't know what it's for, but it lets you use the knife as a handle for carrying unwieldy crap. Apple Camera comes pre-installed with a feature that translates those laundry symbols. Netflix has a fitness or exercise genre where you can watch and work out alongside videos. What excites and scares you the most about AI? Not sure if I'm allowed to answer my own question, but I'm excited by AI being able to be a personal tutor for everyone on the planet and elevate education. It's helped me a ton in school. I'm scared about us becoming overly reliant on it and it making mistakes, specifically in military scenarios. Two notable military examples: Palantir and Anduril. Palantir is basically the intelligence OS for the United States and Anduril makes AI-based weapons. Job loss across a wide spectrum of industries scares me the most. Same answer for both. The Terminator saw this shit coming decades ago. The fact that with their help people's creative thinking will greatly decline, because it is largely thanks to it that we have current technologies. More lazy people, instead of whom AI will do everything. To depression. What ingredient do you believe ruins a sandwich? Mealy tomatoes, mushy tomato and wilted lettuce. Excessively liquid watery condiments that make the bread soggy. Bees. Miracle Whip. Black. Mushy tomatoes. Too much mayo. I know this is not a popular opinion, but a tomato slice on a sandwich really ruins it for me. Miracle tablespoons of fructose corn mercury. Raw onion. For me, the flavor of raw onion dominates over everything. It's also far crunchier than leafy greens, and it messes with what I think is the right texture for a sandwich. I always feel I'm the only one on the arugula hate train. That taste is way too overpowering for something that's basically glorified weeds. Coriander. Too much mustard. I love mustard, doesn't mean I want it dripping it off the sandwich. What really obvious thing have you only just realized? I was at least 50 when I learned that the little piggy who went to market wasn't shopping. My sister learned recently that when you're at the grocery store and opening the egg carton that you're checking for cracked eggs and not just making sure that they are in fact eggs in the carton. That the best time to start saving for my future really was all those years ago. How the American bail system works. I thought it was a sum of money you paid to avoid jail. I was surprised when I realized you get the money back if you show up for your trial. Not me, but my 21-year-old cousin just realized he is mildly allergic to peanut butter, and has been his whole until now. He had assumed everyone's throat closed up a little while eating a PBJ sandwich, but they just fought through it. What single moment made you laugh harder than you've ever laughed before? I was sitting on a rock looking kinda haggard because I was overheating in a satyr costume at a Ren fair. A passing child looked me up and down and went, "It'll be okay, goat." Most recently last week I picked up my great-granddaughter from kindergarten and while driving her home a guy drove through a stop sign. She looked over at me and said, What a douchebag. We were playing Taboo, a game where you try to communicate a word to someone but without using certain keywords. My friend goes, it's a thing that little boys have. I jokingly said, a penis? He continues and, it's round. Me, a penis? Friend, and they play with it. Me, a penis? Friend, and it goes up, and it goes down. Me, a penis? It was a yo-yo. I was very tired. What turns you off? When girls intentionally act dumber than they are. I don't know if they think it's cute, but it pisses me off. Modest confidence and self-respect is sexy. Constant negativity, complaining, slow internet, spitting. People that are all about appearance, status and money. Strong body odor. Unkind people. People who need to be right, no matter evidence, possibilities, or consequences. They just gotta be right. Fuck that. Not respecting my boundaries. Self-absorbed, duck face and obsessive selfie taking. Littering. I once knew a girl who was quite lovely in every way until we got somewhere and she just threw rubbish out the window. I've never understood why you can't keep your rubbish till you find somewhere to put it. Extreme self-doubting. It's very unattractive when someone subtly looks for a validation. Bad hygiene. Long nails. What would you name your worst enemy's firstborn child if you could? I'd name her after me. My coworker named her baby Strawberry Rain, which would be a great name if she had given birth to a bottle of shampoo. Does Mamamize a home-wrecking war exceed the character limit? Chupacabra. X Sasha 12. Cheesecake. Because nobody is ever going to take them seriously. If they get stopped by the police, they're probably going to get arrested just because it sounds like they're BSing. They will never get into any bar or club because their ID is obviously fake. Who the hell names a guy Cheesecake? I doubt anyone is going to bother bringing them in for a job interview either. Cletus Mictus. I went to school with a girl named Dreama Cox. Don't get to much worse than that for a school-ager. Adolf Hitler. Astley. The most precious name possible. Just because the parents are dicks, kids should be left out of it. Rumpled foreskin. Home magnet. What's a piece of advice you've received that significantly influenced your outlook on life? My dad told me that people enjoy discovery. If you can introduce an idea to someone and have them think that they came up with it, they are more likely to carry through on it. Whether the stone hits the glass, or the glass hits the stone, it isn't going to break the stone. X200B. Basically, pick your fights carefully. My dad told me people who are wrong or have made a mistake don't want to be told they are wrong, and it's always stuck with me. Most of the time you can't control what happens, but you can control your reaction to it. Will this matter in 5 years? Will I remember this in 5 years? Most of the time the answer is no, and helps put daily work and other stresses into perspective. Relapsing is not the end of a recovery, it's a part of it. What's the dumbest reason why you got in trouble in school? My brother was kicked out of class because he was smiling while the teacher explained the topic. Not me, but a friend. Every day for lunch in the 3rd grade my friend's parents would pack her lunch with strawberries and sugar to dip them in. One day she had a lot of sugar left over, so at recess she was carrying the bag around while dipping her finger into it from time to time. She was eventually called into the principal's office and her mother was called. They legit thought a 3rd grader had a bag of Coke on the playground. Laughing too much. Saying my bad to a teacher. Apparently it was rude. I wore a red sweater and they say I may have gang affiliation. Confiscated my sweater on a cold day. What's the first film you ever saw at a movie theater cinema? Star Wars. I'm not completely sure, but I think it was Pokémon, the first movie from 1998. Justin Bieber movie, Skull. Too Fast Too Furious. No idea, but here are the only ones I remember seeing: in Hunchback of Notre of the Rings 2, I Silent Hill. Probably have seen others but I don't remember them. Madagascar 2. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Meteor Man. The one I can remember the earliest seeing was Horton Hears a Who. But I know I had seen other movies in theater beforehand. My small childlike mind could not retain it, however. Tangled. I don't remember which one came out first, but the first ones I absolutely remember seeing are The Amazing Spider-Man and The Avengers, both from 2012. Drive-In. Sleeping Beauty. The Witch scared me to death. What's the one thing you would do today if you knew you were going to die tomorrow? Fucking panic, honestly. Order from my favorite restaurant. I had stomach surgery earlier and I haven't eaten solid food since the 18th of last month. Your mom, lol. Finish both writing my will and planning my funeral. Go back home and spend time with my family and my dog. Contact everyone I've ever cared about to inform them of the news. Say goodbye, and then I'd go and spend the rest of the day with my parents, my brother, and my dog. Take a nap. I really don't want to die tired in case ghosts are real. I do not want to be eternally tired. Get high, eat, and finish some shows. Tell my loved ones how much I love them. Settle some debts. Let's keep it at that. Take out as large of a loan as I could get. Use it to buy the biggest life insurance policy possible and pay ahead on it so that it would be immediately active, and then list my family as the beneficiaries. Which well-known individual received undeserved criticism and didn't deserve the level of negativity directed towards them? Macaulay. Those on Reddit with enough years to recall, the former child star of Home Alone faced significant criticism for appearing to be a spoiled brat when he legally separated from his reality was that his father was an abusive individual, and his parents intended to take the $15.20 million he earned from his acting career, leaving Macaulay with nothing. Vlad the Impaler. People think he just impales people. He improved agriculture, boosted trade, united Wallachia, stopped the Ottomans from Islamicizing Europe, and also impaled people. Sinead O'Connor. Anybody in a metal band, although that's kinda the point. The whole point of metal was to tick off the older generations, but then the metal elitists hate subgenres and the older metalheads hate new metal, etc. It's as if we aren't even a community. We just all hate each other.